The idea came to me on a Tuesday. I remember the exact time because I looked at my phone when I sat up in bed. I had been lying awake for hours. My mind was racing. I had been working on a problem for months. A technical problem that no one in my company had been able to solve. Our clients needed a faster way to process large data sets. The existing solutions were slow and expensive and unreliable. They crashed frequently. They lost data. They frustrated everyone who used them. I had been experimenting with different approaches, different algorithms, different architectures. Nothing was working. I was starting to doubt myself. I was starting to think the problem was impossible. Then at a new way of organizing the data, a new way of processing it, a new way that would be 10 times faster and half the cost. The solution was elegant, simple, beautiful. I could see it clearly in my mind, the architecture, the algorithms, the data flow, everything. I got out of bed. I went to my home office. I started writing. I wrote for 3 hours straight. I filled pages with diagrams and equations and code snippets. I did not stop to eat or drink or stretch. I just wrote. The ideas were pouring out of me faster than I could capture them. I did not want to lose a single detail. When the sun came up, I was still writing. I had filled an entire notebook. My hand was cramping. My eyes were burning. But I was buzzing with excitement. I had never felt anything like it. I knew I had something special. I did not go back to sleep. I showered. I dressed. I went to work, still buzzing with energy. I told Mark about the idea that afternoon. We were getting coffee in the break room. He asked why I looked so happy. I said I had a breakthrough. He asked what kind. I hesitated for a moment. But he was my friend. We had worked together for 3 years. We had shared ideas before. We had helped each other solve problems. He had never given me a reason to doubt him. I told him everything. I explained the concept, the algorithm, the architecture. I showed him my notebook, the one I had filled at. He looked at my diagrams. He asked questions, good questions, insightful questions. He seemed interested. He seemed supportive. He said this could be huge. I said I know. I did not know that he was already planning to steal from me. Over the next several months, I developed the idea further. I built prototypes, I ran tests, I refined the algorithm, I documented everything. Every success, every failure, every breakthrough. I kept detailed notebooks, dated entries, diagrams, code, test results. This was my habit, my training, my protection. I had learned early in my career that ideas are valuable, and that valuable things attract thieves. I did not know how valuable my idea was. I did not know how determined the thief would be. Mark stayed involved. He offered suggestions. He reviewed my work. He helped me think through problems. I appreciated his input. I thought we were a team. I thought we were building something together. I did not realize that he was studying my work, that he was memorizing my approach, that he was looking for ways to claim it as his own. I presented the idea to my manager. I gave a detailed presentation. Slides, demos, data. The room was impressed. My manager said we should file a patent. He said the company would support it. He assigned me to lead the project. He assigned Mark to support me. I was excited. This was my chance, my idea, my leadership, my future. I worked harder than ever. I put in 80-hour weeks. I skipped weekends. I forgot birthdays. I ignored friends. I poured everything I had into this project. I did not know that Mark was already working behind my back. The first sign of trouble came when Mark started acting strange. He stopped offering suggestions. He stopped reviewing my work. He stopped being helpful. He became distant, guarded, secretive. He would leave the office at odd hours. He would take phone calls in the stairwell. He would close his laptop when I walked by. I asked if everything was okay. He said he was fine. He said he was just busy with other projects. He said he had a lot on his plate. I believed him. I was naive. I was focused on my work. I did not see what was happening right in front of me. A few weeks later, I learned the truth. A colleague from another department mentioned that Mark had been meeting with the legal team. She said she saw him coming out of conference room B with a folder full of documents. She asked if I knew what it was about. I said no. I did not think much of it at the time. Then my manager called me into his office. He looked uncomfortable. He closed the door. He said, "David, I need to tell you something." Mark has filed a patent application on his own, without telling me, without telling the company. He claims he developed the technology independently. He claims he has documentation to prove it. I sat there in shock. I could not speak. My manager continued, "The company is investigating. We have to take this seriously. Until we know the facts, we cannot move forward with your application." Then I said, "I developed that idea. I have notebooks, I have emails, I have timestamps. He saw my work, he copied my work. He stole from me." My manager said, "I believe you. But belief is not evidence. We need proof." Bond, I spent the next week gathering evidence, my notebooks, my emails, my test results, my timestamps. I organized everything. I created a timeline. I wrote a detailed statement. I was ready to fight. Mark was doing the same. He claimed he had notebooks of his own. He claimed he had developed the idea before I did. He claimed he had shared it with me, not the other way around. He was lying, but he was confident. He thought he could get away with it. He was wrong. The investigation took months. Lawyers were involved. Patent examiners were involved. Forensic analysts were involved. The company hired an outside firm to review the evidence. I was suspended with pay. Mark was suspended with pay. We were not allowed to contact each other. We were not allowed to discuss the case. We were not allowed to access any company files. Jen, I spent those months in limbo. I could not work. I could not move forward with my life. I could not stop thinking about what Mark had done. The betrayal consumed me. I lost sleep. I lost weight. I lost my sense of purpose. My friends tried to help. They said it would work out. They said the truth would come out. They said I had nothing to worry about. They meant well. But they did not understand. They had never been betrayed by someone they trusted. They had never had their life's work stolen. They had never been accused of something they did not do. I started therapy. I needed someone to talk to, someone who was not invested in the outcome, someone who could help me process the anger and the fear and the grief. My therapist told me to focus on what I could control. I could control my evidence. I could control my story. I could control my preparation. I could not control Mark. I could not control the lawyers. I could not control the outcome. I threw myself into preparation. I reviewed my notebooks again and again. I studied the timeline. I anticipated every argument Mark might make. I prepared counter-arguments. I was ready. Mark was preparing too. But he was preparing differently. He was not reviewing evidence. He was creating it. He was backdating notebooks. He was fabricating emails. He was building a false narrative. He thought he could fool the investigators. He thought he could fool the patent office. He thought he could fool everyone. He was wrong. The patent war was fought in a conference room at the company's headquarters. A large room with a long table and leather chairs and windows overlooking the city. Lawyers from both sides. Patent examiners. A mediator. Company representatives. Mark and I sat at opposite ends of the table. He would not look at me. I would not look at him. The lead patent examiner was a woman named Dr. Reyes. She had a PhD in computer science and 20 years of experience. She had seen everything. She had heard every excuse. She was not easily fooled. She asked Mark to present his evidence first. He stood up. He walked to the front of the room. He projected his notebooks on the screen. He pointed to dates and diagrams and equations. He spoke confidently. He said he had been working on the idea for 2 years. He said he had documented everything. He said he had shared his work with me, not the other way around, Dr. Reyes asked questions. She asked why his notebooks looked so new. Mark said he kept his notebooks in a safe. He said he was careful with his work. He said he did not want to damage his original documents. Dr. Reyes asked why the ink color changed between the date and the content. Mark said he used different pens, Dr. Reyes asked why the notebooks showed no evidence of the iterative process. No failed attempts. No crossed-out equations. No notes to himself, just clean final answers. Mark said he worked differently. He said he solved problems in his head before writing them down. Dr. Reyes asked to see his digital files. Mark provided them. The metadata showed that the files had been created recently, not 2 years ago. Recently. Dr. Reyes asked Mark to explain. Mark said he had transferred the files from an old computer. He said the metadata was not reliable, Dr. Reyes was not convinced. Then it was my turn. I walked to the front of the room. My hands were shaking, but my voice was steady. I projected my notebooks on the screen, dozens of them, spanning years, each entry dated. On the screen, each page filled with diagrams and equations and code. The ink was consistent, the wear was consistent. The line was consistent. I also presented emails I had sent to Mark explaining the idea, emails with timestamps, emails with attachments, emails that proved he had seen my work before he claimed to have developed his own. The timestamps matched my notebook entries. The content matched my diagrams. The evidence was clear. Dr. Reyes asked questions. I answered them all. She asked about the development process. I showed her my failed attempts, my crossed-out equations, my notes to myself. I showed her the evolution of the idea, from rough concept to refined solution. She nodded. She understood. She asked Mark to explain the emails. He could not. She asked Mark to explain why his notebooks showed no evolution. He could not. She asked Mark to explain the metadata discrepancies. He could not. The room was silent. Everyone knew what had happened. Mark had stolen from me. He had lied to everyone. He had tried to take credit for work that was not his. The hearing ended. Dr. Reyes said she would issue a ruling within 60 days. The verdict came 6 weeks later. I was sitting in my apartment when my phone rang. It was my lawyer. He said, "We won." The patent examiner ruled in my favor. Mark's application was rejected. My application would proceed. Beep ting ting was so pince. I sat down on my couch. I did not cheer. I did not cry. I just sat there. The relief was overwhelming. The nightmare was over. My lawyer told me that Mark had been referred for disciplinary action. The company was investigating him for fraud. He might lose his job. He might face legal consequences. He might never work in the industry again. The patent office was also considering sanctions. Mark could be barred from filing future patents. His reputation was destroyed. I did not feel sorry for him. I tried to feel sorry for him. I told myself he was a human being who made a terrible mistake. I told myself he had a family and a mortgage and problems I did not know about. But I could not feel sorry for him. He had stolen from me. He had lied to everyone. He had tried to destroy my career. He had almost succeeded. The company reinstated me. They apologized for the suspension. They offered me a promotion and a bonus. I accepted. I deserved it. I had earned it. I had fought for it. Mark was fired. He left the building with a cardboard box, like I had almost done. He did not look at me. He did not say goodbye. He just left. I watched him walk out the door. I did not feel satisfaction. I did not feel relief. I just felt tired. I heard later that Mark moved to another state. He works at a small company now, a junior position. He does not talk about what happened. He tells people he left for personal reasons. He tells people he wanted a change of scenery. He does not mention the patent war. He does not mention me. I do not correct him. I do not think about him. He is not worth my time. It has been 2 years since the patent war. My idea is now a product. It is used by companies around the world. It has generated millions in revenue. It has won awards. It has changed the way people process data. I am the lead inventor. My name is on the patent. My picture is on the company website. My story is told to new employees as an example of integrity and perseverance. I am introduced at conferences as the person who solved the impossible problem. I do not tell the story with anger. I tell it with honesty. This is what happened. This is how I fought back. This is how I won. I also tell it as a warning. Protect your work. Document everything. Trust your instincts. Mark tried to take everything from me. He tried to steal my idea and my career and my future. He almost succeeded. But he made one mistake. He underestimated me. He thought I would not fight back. He thought I would be too scared, or too loyal, or too naive to defend myself. He thought his lies would be enough. He was wrong. I kept the notebooks. I saved the emails. I documented everything. I was prepared, and when the time came, I used every tool I had. I did not hold back. I did not give him the benefit of the doubt. I did not protect him because we used to be friends. He had not protected me. He had not given me the benefit of the doubt. He had not treated me like a friend. Mark lost because he was sloppy. He was arrogant. He thought he could take what was not his and no one would notice. He thought he was smarter than everyone else. He thought the rules did not apply to him. He was wrong. Men, the truth has a way of coming out. You just have to help it. If you are going through something similar, here is my advice. Document everything, every idea, every conversation, every email. Keep notebooks, save timestamps, create a paper trail. You never know when you might need to prove that an idea was yours. You never know who might try to take it from you. Do not trust people with your intellectual property until you have protection. Non-disclosure agreements, patents, copyrights, whatever is appropriate for your industry. Protect yourself first, then share. I learned this lesson the hard way. I trusted Mark because he was my friend. I did not think he would betray me. I was wrong. Do not be naive. Do not assume that people have your best interests at heart. Some people do. Some people do not. It can be hard to tell the difference until it is too late. And if someone steals from you, fight back. Do not let fear or guilt or loyalty stop you. They did not care about you when they took your work. You do not owe them anything. You owe it to yourself to defend what is yours. Hire a lawyer. Gather your evidence. Tell your story. Do not let them silence you. Do not let them make you feel ashamed. You did nothing wrong. They did. Once my colleague stole my business idea. He thought he could get away with it. He thought he was smarter than me. He thought he could outmaneuver me. He thought his lies would be enough. He lost the patent war. He lost his job. He lost his reputation. He lost everything. I won, not because I was luckier or smarter or more connected, because I had the truth on my side. And the truth is a powerful weapon. It can cut through lies. It can expose fraud. It can bring down the most confident thief. The truth is not always easy. It is not always fast. It is not always convenient, but it is always right. And in the end, right wins. If you are an inventor or a creator or anyone who makes things, here is my final advice. Do not let anyone take credit for your work. Do not let anyone steal your ideas. Do not let anyone make you feel small or foolish for protecting what is yours. You deserve the recognition. You deserve the reward. You deserve the success. You worked for it. You earned it. It is yours. Band. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Do not let anyone make you doubt yourself. Do not let anyone convince you that fighting back is not worth the cost. It is worth it. Ben, my colleague, stole from me. He thought he would win. He lost. I did not gloat. I did not celebrate his downfall. I just moved on. I built my product. I grew my career. I lived my life. I did not let his betrayal define me. I did not let his lies consume me. I did not let his theft destroy me. That is the best revenge, not destroying the person who hurt you, but becoming so successful that they become irrelevant. Living so well that they cannot touch you. Building so much that they cannot take anything from you ever again. Mark tried to steal my idea. He lost the patent war. I won. And I have never been happier. Breathe. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more tales of betrayal and perseverance and the courage to fight for what is yours. Click the bell for notifications, and remember, keep the receipts, save the evidence, document everything. The truth is on your side.